And welcome back to Let's Play Metroid Prime 1. I don't know why I said the 1 that time. Hello, suspicious passageway that we probably shouldn't go through. Or attempt to go through. Actually, where does that connect to? I'm actually curious now. It doesn't seem like we can get through there yet. Who the heck thought installing flame jets in a magma place was a good idea? Last time we made it to the Phendrana Drifts and got the boost ball, which is our morph ball boost. And I guess this is as good as any place to show it. We're on a track, so in boosting we can't like fly off. We need the boost ball to get up certain half pipes, which we can actually do in a lot of different places. We also saw Meta Ridley flying back towards the Magma Caverns, which is why we're here now, instead of continuing exploring Magma Caverns. That's a spy ball track. We can't interact with that yet, so that's a dead end. Yeah, watching the treehouse footage for... Maybe I should explain what that is. The Nintendo Treehouse streams were a thing during E3, where like people involved with like Nintendo Treehouse, which is like their localization branch, they basically demoed a bunch of different games, and one of the games they demoed was Metroid Prime, not Metroid Prime, Metroid Samus Returns, which is the remake of Metroid 2, which was Return of Samus. Clever, sort of. So, well, that's good to pick up. So, what was I saying? Basically, one of the things they showed off is you can actually place like markers on the map, which is like the best thing ever. Like, I don't know if it sounds silly, but being able to like mark specific spots on the map is one of my favorite things to be able to do in a game. Not just be like, oh, mark a waypoint. That's not what I'm specifically referring to, but like placing like a ton of different waypoints and being like, oh, here are all points of interest that you need to remember to go back to. Sort of like what Breath of the Wild did. But yeah, stuff like that I find really good in games, and frankly, Metroid honestly needs it, and I hope whoever is making Prime is taking note of that, because that will help a lot with Prime. Prime is a confusing game sometimes, I say as I get really turned around. So blowing up that just incinerated that plant. So yeah, let's not shoot those while we're near them. So now you wonder, why are we going back here? Well, because we have the morph ball boost, we can actually do something with this half pipe. I'm a little bit torn. Should I go back and get that one thing that we didn't pick up in... Yeah, I don't know when the next time we go to the Chosen Ruins is. That's what I'm trying to decide. It's like, because if we're going back to Chosen Ruins soon, then this is a giant waste of time, but like, I feel like I'm gonna forget where those collectibles are if I wait too long, because that's just how I am. But yeah, being able to mark specific locations on a map in a game with as big of a map as Metroid is super important, and I'm really glad they are finally implementing something like that in a 2D game, and I really just hope they follow suit in the 3D game. In Breath of the Wild, you can mark like, 105 different points at a time, which is ridiculous, but also really nice. I use that a lot when trying to get the Koroks, which is a good point. I actually got all the Koroks. Yes. Not making this up. I actually did get every Korok. Pre-DLC, I should also point out. I guess sort of shoutouts to Zelda Dungeon for having a good map. But yeah, that was actually... It's the one of those things where it's the saying goes, your mileage may vary. I'm personally like a fan of collectathons, as they're often derisively referred to. So I was actually totally okay. We're not supposed to be here, but we might as well be here. because we can actually break this down. I meant to try to get that one missile tank near the save room, except I went totally the wrong way, and that actually is totally cool because we found a missile by accident. Where is the save room? It's over here. Okay, it's that room. Honestly, I see a lot of Metroid Prime in Breath of the Wild, which gives me hope about Retro not making Prime 4. But like the map layout is very similar in one specific level of Zelda, and the overall sense of freedom and like what do we do next, you decide kind of vibe gives me serious Zelda, serious Metroid vibes. I've seen people joke about like Breath of the Wild being like a better Metroid game than a Zelda game, and I kind of see where people come from, but I also still will say that I personally believe, you know, because this is a common argument, Breath of the Wild actually still does, to me, feel like a Zelda game. And it's hard to really describe why. If you ask me why I feel that way, I don't know if I could give you an answer. I just, atmospherically, even though it's very different, I still feel like it is a true Zelda game. Well, we can't actually interact with that yet. Oh, I remember what we need to do. We have to go up through here, and break that block. I think I broke it with a bomb placed in midair. So yeah, we basically break down the block under the metal block in order to maneuver. And I'm not sure if you can break the metal block. I think you can with a certain power-up. Wow, he's actually stuck in the track. I've never seen that happen before. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes out of the Zelda franchise next. I have no idea what it could even be. My intuition is telling me that the next Zelda will be a 2D Zelda. You know what? What I think will happen, and honestly, I feel like it'd be the best choice. Well, Zelda, in terms of a 3D genre, got a massive overhaul, right? What if they did something like that for a 2D Zelda? Not maybe the same thing, like just make it big and grandiose, because I don't know if that works on a 2D scale, but find some way with another 2D Zelda to make a sort of new gameplay style out of the series, because quite frankly, all 2D Zeldas are basically trying to be Link to the Past, and that needs to stop, really, because it got really shameless, let's be honest, with A Link Between Worlds, and I actually like A Link Between Worlds, and I can admit that. It's kind of shameless at parts. Wait, we need to kill these guys first. Otherwise, they're gonna stop us from getting up this ramp. I think Metroid is a series with the most like canon names, because you can scan like everything and you can learn all the official names of every monster in the game if you feel like it. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to get to that door. Or maybe this is it. Maybe we just have to go through here. That does not look bombable, other than being slightly off color. That's like really secret. But also, thinking about it, Metroid got increasingly linear, ironically, while Breath of the Wild was getting increasingly non-linear. So that's kind of an interesting comparison. Because let's be honest, the Prime games are super non-linear, but the 2D ones, like Zero Mission is pretty linear. They tell you where to go and everything. Fusion is pretty linear, and Other M is super linear. Not that linear's bad, mind you, but it's, I don't know, something about Metroid doesn't quite work when it's super like confined and sort of overly directioned. Now, fun fact, the sledge here, in the GameCube version there's some technique where you can do like if you like do a certain combination of like side hopping, there's nothing to lock onto, so I can't side hop. And side hopping and locking on with like really precise motion, you could actually launch yourself up to this ledge and get the high jump early, if I'm not mistaken, which is game breaking. It basically cuts out an entire trip back to the Talon Overworld to get that. It allows us to get a bunch of stuff on the way. So obviously speedrunners definitely do that, and as a result I don't think anyone actually runs the GameCube version at all. People just run the people run the Wii version. I think people just run the GameCube version because that's the one that's broken, let's be honest. Now when I say it's broken, I'm not saying it like it's unplayable or anything. It's not Cars 3 Driven to Win apparently, which is actually broken and unplayable, according to some reports. My problem with Metroid is just that you can tell that this, it's not even a problem, that's not the right word. What I find interesting about this game is it's such an early example of 3D programming in a, obviously in a very first person kind of setting, that it's hilarious to me how they didn't think people would do certain things. Like sequence breaking, it's like they didn't bug check as much, is what I'm trying to say. And for a casual player, that's not an issue at all. That never comes up as a problem. But to speedrunners, they break the living daylights out of this game, and I find it actually really fascinating how... Like, Sonic 06 is a good example. Sonic 06 is broken, and it doesn't take a speedrunner or a programmer to figure out what's going on. It's pretty obvious that it's just really badly optimized and programmed, and it just doesn't run well at all. But like this game has some weird bugs in it too, which could be taken in several different contexts now that I think about it. But never feels broken. Just to a casual player, it doesn't ever really feel that bad, which is one of the really impressive things about it. We are not supposed to be here, I don't think, because we need the grapple beam to get across this, so we're not supposed to be here. But hey, we explored a little bit and found where we need to go later, so when we get the grapple beam back, which is actually our last upgrade, I think, that we didn't already have, or that we had at the beginning that we lost, we'll be in good shape, really. So we have the high jump boots, and remember in the Phendrana Drifts how there are a lot of places that we couldn't actually jump up to? Well, that's where we're going next. So, which was the Phendrana? Yeah, Frigate Crash Site. That's where the Orpheon is now, which is actually really cool in my opinion. I like it when games have continuity with their level design. In that kind of way. Like, oh, this thing that you saw earlier is actually impacting this other area. I like that kind of design. Sort of connected, because it doesn't necessarily feel super connected, but it actually is. The extra jump is actually super helpful for just basic platforming even. So we need to go like across, it looks like over there. Actually, can we go back this way? I'm not sure if we can actually go back this way. Or maybe we can now. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think we can because we have the double jump. Maybe? Can we? Huh. Oh wait, that's at the bottom. Never mind. We're good. Also no fall damage, to my knowledge. I say to my knowledge because I know I'm gonna like fall at some point and take a lot of damage from it. Because that's just how these things go. Atmospherically, I feel like the whole game is kind of dank. So that's another problem I have with this game over Prime 2, is I feel like Prime 2 has more color to it. Now this game definitely has color to it, but it doesn't feel as vibrant as 2, which is ironic because you have a place called the Dark World. But yeah, that's just my personal take. I think it might just be in my head, to some extent. Like, it's not really that much different, but like I imagine it being brighter because I've only played Prime 2 once, and I've played this game a few times, twice. This is my third playthrough. That was really bad. I'm not sure if the gravity suit all together protects, like all that protects you from lava at any point, but that's also one of the really cool, like, air quotes, cinematic moments, in my opinion, when the thing pops out at you as you're going along the rail. I just like that as a really cool, like, again, cinematic kind of touch. And yes, I use the word cinematic pretty loosely here, to be honest. But it's like not something you see in games. And you know, Metroid is, again, like I said before, not really... Or was that in the failed take? I don't know, because I did have a failed run that I decided to reset. But in any case, Metroid like never really is a horror game at any point, but it is atmospheric, most definitely. Almost made that jump. So I feel like the sort of like thing is just sort of jumping out at you kind of thing is kind of that nice little balance. Also, by the way, down there, you can see something there. The ice spreader, which is a special charge beam for the ice beam, but we don't even have the ice beam yet, so that's a ways off. Why am I fighting these guys again? Yeah, so it's like, Metroid is sort of that weird sci-fi horror hybrid that's like not really in your face, jump scare horror kind of Resident Evil, but it does have suspense and atmosphere. So it's one of the things I appreciate about the series. It's definitely how atmospheric it is. Even the 2D games. So, well, okay, the Game Boy ones. No, I totally shouldn't say that. The Game Boy ones have, at least Fusion has a ton of like atmosphere. You can actually jump up here now, or completely miss the platform. That works too. Yeah, I was thinking, it's like, yeah, Fusion's got kind of a bright color palette, and it's not that bad, but it's like, I just remember there's a part in Fusion that actually is really intense. Actually, a couple parts in Fusion that are like super intense, and actually really cool because it's a Game Boy, but like, it's super intense. Up here we have a new research entry, which is about a spinner. And this is apparently about a bridge. So we can use this to extend the bridge. Now, I'm not entirely sure how the Space Pirates are supposed to use a ball spinner, because they don't have morph balls? That's not true, I guess, because... I mean, none of them have, like, ball forms, but I guess they do have, like, some of them have transformations of some variety. We're not supposed to get this yet, but we might as well. This is a Chozo artifact. The artifact of strength, the second of oh. You hear that and it's like, oh, second of 12, you say? Which is about a big problem I have with this game, is that the end game kind of grinds to a halt, even if you're not a completionist. Just because you do have a lot of things to collect as prereqs for the story. A la Wind Waker, because Nintendo seems to like padding back at this era. Not a bad thing, just kind of something to note. And now we're heading back to the Phendrana Drifts, and we're at a good stopping place. I'm probably gonna go to the save point in Phendrana and end off, but in any case, thank you for watching, and I hope you join me next time for more Metroid Prime